Well guys, this kind of just came out of left field with Selena Gomez posting this video online where she was absolutely sobbing over the deportations that are taking place right now.
I just want to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. They don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
This video received an awful lot of backlash, which I think she probably wasn't expecting. This one person said, very ridiculous and embarrassing. And somebody else said, crying is natural, recording yourself and sharing it for attention isn't. I have to say this did cross my mind as well. I'm quite introverted, and the idea of crying and it occurring to me to get my phone out and film myself and then proceed to publish it online, I don't know how people do it. But she ended up receiving so much backlash that she removed the video. And she then posted saying, apparently it's not okay to show empathy for people. So while I talk about this, I am going to try to be empathetic towards her. I think that she seems like she's quite emotionally fragile in that video. So, you know, she's human. I'm not here to tear her to pieces, but I personally did find the video a bit of a crazy thing to have posted. Before we get into why people are so upset and before we get chatting about what's wrong with this whole situation, I want to say she apparently in 2019 did a documentary called Living Undocumented and focused on the lives of undocumented immigrants in the United States. Her father is of Mexican heritage, so this is obviously a matter that is close to her heart, and she is seeing this from her perspective, and I get it. Like, I get why she's looking at this and she's feeling upset, but it is out of touch. It's out of touch with so many people who are suffering right now because of the policies that have been in place for the last few years in particular. And I just want to talk about this because the world that she's living in is not, like, she cannot fathom, she cannot understand the world that everyone else is living in. She's living in a bubble, and I guess to a certain extent she can't help that. But sorry, I am tired of Hollywood celebrities sitting in their multi-million-dollar mansions virtue signaling to the rest of the world. And I think a lot of people are probably tired of that, and that's probably why it received backlash. You know, I actually have worked for people who live in the type of communities where Selena Gomez lives. So I do have a little bit of insight into this because I've seen the lives that people live when they have like millions of dollars and when they have these nice houses in these nice neighborhoods. And I just want to explain a little bit about the world that Selena Gomez lives in, because it is so different from the world that the average person lives in. Firstly, let's just look at her house, okay? This is one of many properties that she owns. She doesn't just have one home, she has multiple. And as you can see, it is literally a hotel. Like all of the illegal immigrants who got deported on Sunday, they could have gone and lived with her, you know, they could all fit in there quite spaciously. And I do wonder, like, would she be willing? Like, would she be willing to have them in her home? How much sympathy does she feel? Because I can tell you that the neighborhood she lives in and the neighborhoods that these celebrities live in are not the kinds of neighborhoods that will ever have any form of impact due to the illegal immigration happening. They will not see any repercussions at all. As you can see, the entire plot is so private. It's beautiful. This actually, I think, was built by Tom Petty, and it's kind of changed hands over the years. And she bought this a few years back for, I think it was $6 million. And the value of that house could very likely have quadrupled since COVID. The neighborhood that she lives in is a gated community. So that means that there are barriers. There will be like security guards at the entrance. No one will be able to come in unless they are resident there or unless they have like pre-approval. If they do want to come in, they're going to be questioned. They're going to have to like show identification. They're going to have a good reason for being there. So you're not going to find anyone who's not supposed to be there walking through. She lives with the comfort of having gates, borders, security, 24/7 people watching the neighborhood. So she obviously understands and appreciates the concept of having borders, having gates, having protection, not just letting anybody into your community, into your space, into your neighborhood because of safety. She can completely understand that concept. It's probably easy to forget that like the average person just does not have that level of security and comfort in their neighborhoods. And the thing is, like she said in that video, I will do anything. Then why don't you open your doors? You know, why don't you live in a community that's not gated? Well, we all know the reason why no one would want to open their doors to the 900 illegal immigrants who were arrested, because most of them were criminals. Most of them, you don't even know who they are. I'm certain that Hollywood celebrities understand the concept that they wouldn't want illegal immigrants coming into their lovely, secure, gated neighborhoods. So I don't understand how they don't understand the concept of the general public not wanting that either. And it does bother me that I didn't see Selena Gomez going online crying about Laken Riley or any of the other high profile victim cases of illegal immigrants in the last few years. I don't know, I get how this happens because I understand that Hollywood celebrities are living in their own completely different bubble of a world. So I get how they lose touch. But what I don't understand is when the public keeps on telling you that we don't want to hear your input. Why don't you hear that? How come you don't realize that you are living in a bubble, that you don't have any idea what everybody else out here is going through, and maybe just don't give your opinion on the real world because you just don't know. You have no way of knowing, and you never will know. The other thing I'm really confused by is this has been going on forever. Like, this is not new. Obama did this.
If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century. And to those members of Congress who question my authority to make our immigration system work better, or question the wisdom of me acting where Congress has failed, I have one answer. Pass a bill.
Obama ran on this. Clinton ran on this.
So I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
If an American overstays their visa in Mexico, they will get deported.
So this is what happens when you get caught in Mexico. How did they even find me in the first place? I was coming back from a concert in a bus stop at a toll booth. Some guy came in asking for ID. I showed him my California ID, but I didn't have my passport. Next thing I knew, I was in a van. I got to the immigration office. They patted me down, took away all my belongings. They looked me up and they saw that I overstayed my 180-day tourist visa. Long story short, they didn't let me leave the immigration office until I bought my ticket to go back to the USA, which is crazy because I already have my dual citizenship in process, but it's not complete.
It's a very, very strange new concept that's happening that is questionable what the intentions are behind it, to be honest with you. So I just think maybe people should think about that sometimes and just step back from the emotions and the kind of emotive imagery that you get shown and just think about the logic of this and the perspective on this, because this is a new thing. This is a new thing in history where suddenly you're evil if you just want to stand by the law and have people come into a country by illegal means where you can actually have them documented, check their history, check if they're safe for the community, make sure that they're not criminals, make sure that they're not rapists. Like, I don't know, when did that become so evil? So I don't know. That's just how I see it. I'd be interested to hear if you guys agree with me or if you have a different take on it. I always read your comments and I always enjoy hearing your guys' perspectives on it. So thank you so much for watching my video again, and I will see you next time.